The big secret Apple doesn't tell you about when you're buying a new iPhone? Well, stay tuned to find out what it is and how to avoid it. Apple just released a whole bunch of amazing hardware, and I'm super excited. All those leakers were all wrong. It was so much better than we were expecting. If you're looking for an iPad on a budget, you'll be shocked to find out how much you can get on a budget. The new iPad 9th generation was just released, and it has the A13 Bionic chip in it, which is super exciting. The new iPad is 3 times faster than the best-selling Chromebook and 6 times faster than the best-selling Android tablet, which is crazy. And it has an improved neural engine to greatly improve the performance and assist with accessibility tasks and making things more accessibility friendly in iPadOS. And so that's amazing. It has a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera for the front, which is 122 degrees, just like the iPad Pro. It has center stage now, which is amazing. So it can follow you around in your Zoom calls. And now you can even do in like the Double Take app, which is Filmic Pro's app, can do like a cameraman where it follows you around, which is super cool and will be great for iPad productivity. And the display now has True Tone, and it starts at 64 gigabytes of storage, guys, now. So yeah, I'll have many more videos coming out on the budget iPad, the 9th generation iPad. So if you're interested, click subscribe and tap the little bell icon so you don't miss any of those videos. So next iPad, which is the big change for this Apple September event, which was a huge announcement. It's probably like the highlight of most people's Apple event, is the new iPad mini, which is amazing, guys. It's astounding. It's like, I'm an iPad Pro 12.9 inch user, but I'm even considering getting one to keep. So stay tuned because I'm going to be doing some videos on that. The new iPad mini got a huge update, and it's the biggest thing that happened at the September event. So it has the iPad Pro design language with the thin bezels and the full screen display and USB-C, USB Type-C. It's USB 3.1 Gen 2, which is the up to 5 gigabytes per second speed, which is great. So you can do video editing directly off of it in LumaFusion and other things like that, and you won't need a Apple Camera Connection Kit adapter with a lightning thing because it's USB-C, guys, and you can connect it with all your USB-C things. I'll have all the affiliated things that we talk about linked in the video description. And it has the 2nd generation Apple Pencil support, which is super exciting because that one has the double tap gesture, and that one's amazing. I really like it. It's great for Photoshop and Illustrator and editing your podcasts and videos, and great for graphics design and drawing on an iPad as an artist, and note-taking as a student. So the Cellular model has joined the race to 5G connectivity, just like the 5G iPad Pro 12.9 inch. And I'm not a big fan of 5G, but it has its usability benefits and accessibility benefits. So if that's what you like, that's good for you. And it also has 4 color options. So that's good. More color options, the better, more choice. And it has Touch ID and the fingerprint reader. So even if you're wearing a mask, it doesn't matter because the authentication biometric is Touch ID. So it might be an issue if it's wintertime you're wearing gloves, but right now during COVID, that's amazing. And just like in the iPad Air, although the new iPad mini absolutely destroys the value of the iPad Air because it takes basically everything that was good in the iPad Air and puts it in an iPad mini for much less cost. So you're probably wondering how much this is going to cost. It starts at $499 and goes up from there. Although if you're a student, you can get a discount on it. So if you're interested in the iPad mini and iPad productivity and all those things, I'm going to have a review and unboxing and all sorts of videos on that. So if you're interested, stay tuned. And the Apple Watch Series 7 is not what you would have thought that came out. It's not what the leaks and rumors suggested, but in some ways it's so much better. It has a 75% brighter display, which is crazy. I'm like, it was already bright, really bright. So that's great for using your Apple Watch as a flashlight or things like that when it's dark out, or just so you can check the time discreetly without having to raise your wrist and be like tap tap or doing the gesture thing. So it also has IP6X certification now, which means that it has a dust rating as well as a water rating, because previously it was water rated so you could go swimming and things like that, but it didn't have an official dust rating and impact rating. So now it does, so that's great. And so it's the most durable Apple Watch Apple's ever made, and so great for physical activity and exercise. And it has a new fast charging mechanism in it, so you can charge your Apple Watch so much faster. And it comes with a USB-C to Apple Watch charger to charge it even faster. So that's amazing. So that you can wear it to bed and use it as a sleep monitoring device or whatever you're going to do. And the Apple Watch will be released later on this year, so you have some time to save up for it. And the Apple Watch has a whole bunch of new Apple Watch bands to go with it, from Hermes to the standard Nike ones, and they look really cool. So I'm super excited to try it when I get my Apple Watch, when they come out. So they also have a full mini keyboard, so you could do like typing on your Apple Watch and use it as like an old school calculator watch, which is like so totally retro, guys, but also super awesome and great for productivity. So going on to the iPhones, which is what most people probably are here for, is the iPhones. So iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 mini. The iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 mini have different color options that I think are much better than they did to have last year, even though they have similar design to last year. The iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 mini has a 20% smaller notch, which is good, but it's not really that big of a deal to me. It doesn't increase your productivity that much. But it has the A15 chip in it, which is really exciting because that allows it to do much more advanced processing and rendering of like video codecs and all sorts of cool stuff, so stay tuned. There's a whole bunch of new camera features and photography features for the iPhone 13 and 13 mini, such as sensor shift stabilization, which was previously in the iPhone 12 Pro Max only, but now it came to the iPhone 13 and 13 mini, so it's great because it'll help stabilize your footage and make it look much smoother, and is amazing for iPhone videography. And also it has cinematic mode, which is basically just focus pulling, which I'll have a video coming out on that soon to explain what all these things are, so, and go much more in depth, so stay tuned. The iPhone 13 and 13 mini now start at 128 gigabytes storage and go all the way up to 512 gigabytes of storage. So that's a lot more storage than you had available previously. So that's amazing. And it's the same price. And it has a brighter display and much better battery life. So all you iPhone 13 mini users who had horrendous battery life, you should have much better battery life and have actually all-day battery life. But if you want the best battery life in iPhone, stay tuned because I'll be going over that one. And so the iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 mini pricing starts for the iPhone 13, it's $799, and for the iPhone 13 mini, it's $699. So that's a really good value. Although last year's phones got a big price drop, and the iPhone 11 is an insane value and the cost for what it costs. And so moving on to the iPhone that I'm really excited about, and I'm super excited to get an unbox and review and all those things, is the iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max. And so they have a 20% smaller notch, but that's not important to me, but that seems to be important to other people on the internet. But it has ProMotion, which is 120 hertz adaptive refresh rate, so it can go all the way down to 24 hertz and all the way up to 120 hertz. So it'll save you battery life, but still is also great for productivity and makes everything super smooth and buttery. And it has up to 1 terabyte of storage, which is crazy. That's great for iPhone productivity. And starts at 128 gig, which was what they had previously last year. It would have been nice if they doubled that, but they have 4 new color options, which I think really look good. Although I'm a traditionalist, I like the white and silver one, or white and stainless steel bezels on your iPhone. I think that one looks classic and clean and everything and amazing. As somebody who does a lot of iPhone videography and photography, the iPhones just got a mind-blowing update that's totally worth buying. The new iPhone 13 Pro Max and 13 Pro. They're amazing. Although, watch out for this one pitfall that I'll be going over later, is that they have a huge upgrade to the camera system and to the lenses. As someone who is passionate about iPhone videography and photography and films these YouTube videos on it, and it's great for multimedia college students doing podcasting and things like that. They have Apple ProRes video codec recording and support. So that's amazing. That's Apple's professional codec that you would put in like Final Cut or Premiere Pro and it's amazing. It has so much more depth of data, and I'll have a full video coming out on that, so stay tuned. But it's amazing. I'm so excited for it. But they have cinematic video with focus pulling. So basically what cinematic video is it follows the person around and then it focus pulls from one person to another, just like if you would have a professional DSLR or mirrorless camera or cinema camera. It's amazing. At least from the demos I've seen, I'm super excited to try it out, but stay tuned for the full review. And it has ProRes video support codec for the iPhone, so that means that ProRes is coming to the iPad, guys. I'm so excited because I do all my editing on my iPad, so iPad video editing for the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. Which new iPhone should you get and which one should you stay away from? For the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max, if you get the 120 gigabyte one, which is the base model, you would think that the storage size wouldn't really matter. But if you get the 120 gigabyte one, it severely hampers your abilities to do stuff on that phone. So it takes your ability to do Apple ProRes, which was one of the main benefits of the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max, and takes it all the way down to you can only film ProRes at 1080p 30 frames per second. So if you want 4K 60 frames per second ProRes, Apple ProRes, then you have to make sure you get more than that. As a general rule of thumb, that would probably be a good idea because Apple ProRes is a very hungry file codec in comparison to the lower, more compressed codecs that your standard iPhone uses, unless you're using Filmic Pro or something like that. So make sure you don't get the 128 gigabyte iPhone. Prices start at $999 for the iPhone 13 Pro and $1,099 for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The pre-order date for the iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro Max date is September 17th and will be available the September 24th. So stay tuned because I'll have videos coming out on that. So if you're interested, like it if you liked it because it really does help, and subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss those videos. Okay, so if you want more interesting iPad and iPhone content, check out one of these videos.